Welcome to Impact PBX, hooking your phone system into your ACT contact database. So let's log in. Now what happens is when it logs into ACT, the phone PBX initializes. That was the screen that just came forward. It initializes in the background and connects to your phone system. So here it is in the background. So it tells us our status. Received a token, that's its handshake communicated, and it is now connected. This screen, you can close it down. It's just open for reference purposes. But if you close it down during ACT session, if you go back to tools, you can come back to that screen at any time. On this screen, we have a couple of buttons here. Of course, the About tells us our build numbers. The Settings. This is where you go and you set up or you type in your PBX URL. This happens to be, we're using the 3CX PBX at the moment. This is the client name. That can be any name. It's a client that you create in your PBX system. We'll show you that later. And then there is what they call client secret. It's a password. It's kind of obnoxious, but that's what allows Impact PBX to connect to your phone system. And then you have your extension number. We have a couple of options down here. Close the pop-up. Now we're going to see a pop-up down here after X amount of seconds automatically. The second option is open a history window when you click on go to. Again, that's on the pop-up. We'll show that to you. Let's go to status. Now on the status at any time, we could just stop listening. So it's been disconnected, so it won't pop up any notices. Or we can restart it at any time. And again, it tells us that it is connected. That is the same thing that automatically happens when ACT launches. Okay, over here we have a test pop-up. This is just going to bring up a test, and that shows us what our pop-up is going to look like. So it shows you here at the top, the date, time. It's an incoming phone call. That's the phone number, just like you would see on your phone ID. And then this is the record inside of ACT that it found. Okay, let's just close this down. And again, we can close this down. That window doesn't need to be there. So let's make a phone call. Let's call our number up and see what happens. I'm just going to pick up a mobile line here. And I'm going to go in.
Thank you for calling.
Press extension 500. And there it is. It pops up and it tells us that the incoming phone call is from James Durkin. And we can see it's incoming. I'm going to hang up the phone now. And you can see it automatically becomes a missed call. So that is the record. That's how it happens. Let's say you're looking at David Perk's record. So I'm working on David Perk's record. Let's do that phone call again. And here's the pop-up. So that's pop-up that came in. It's from James Durkin. That's the record. So if I now want to navigate to that quickly, if I just click back, it goes to Jim Durkin's record. If I go right arrow, it walks me back to Dave Perkins. So I can navigate around down here. Now let's just say another call comes in. Let's put in another call.
Thank you for calling Shelter Financial.
So here's the next incoming call. And this is what happens. We get a second pop-up. So we never close this missed call. That's still there. But we have a second call here. So again, I can say, oh, this record came from a different phone number. Let's go to Jim Durkin's record. And I'm looking at Jim Durkin's record. I can do whatever I want with it. And when I'm done, I can go backwards to it. Now, we do have an option on here. We said we had options. So let's go to our settings. And we actually have a open history when you click go to. This is the go to button. So let me close this down. So again, say I'm looking at Dave's record and Jim Durkin calls and I say, okay, let me go to Jim Durkin's record. You can see that it automatically opens up a history and says Jim call, right? I can put in whatever I want. I can say, okay, I have a note in here, and I go back to Dave Perkins' record. Another thing is maybe Jim Durkin called, and I want to say to him, I'll call you right back. Well, we have his email address here, so I can just click on the email address, and I could say, call here, so I'll call you in 5. Right, so I'll call you in 5. I just sent an email to him saying I'll call him back in 5. I can now just close that and I can close this. So this is the phone PBX for ACT. On the test pop-up, the test pop-up always uses your My Record. So it doesn't matter what record you're on here. It just uses your logon. This pop-up is showing you it's an incoming phone call from Jim Durkin at that phone number. This is the contact information. So it's Jim Durkin, Durkin Addons Support at Impact. And it says we have 2 open opportunities and 8 active appointments on Jim Durkin's record. So if I go to Jim Durkin's record, we can see there are the 8 activities and there's my 2 opportunities. Okay, let's do one last thing. Let's show you how they stack up. So if I throw a test pop-up over there, that's fine. Let me then make another call. So we see the second incoming call will stack up on top of that. So if you go away to lunch, you're going to have these stacked up on the sides. Let's do a third call. And what I did is I deleted the contact in there. So this is a new number. Okay, so another call just came in, and we can see that one is blue because it doesn't find James Durkin in our database. I removed James Durkin. So if we look at it, of course, we can go to this record, and we can navigate. So we can leave all these sitting here at any time. Coming back from lunch, I got to deal with these 4 phone calls. There's James Durkin here, and we have a plus sign. So we just click on Add, and it adds the record right to the database. So next time that James Durkin calls, there it is, new call coming in, or another call coming in. And this time, the James Durkin record is found. So again, I can be navigating anywhere I want to with all of my notes right in front of me. Okay, thank you for watching.